Thanks, Kristen. Well, it's a story Western Mass News has been following for weeks now. Tenants of Springfield Gardens buildings are still experiencing issues with their living conditions. Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford is getting answers from city officials on why it's taking so long to get these families help.
Western Mass News has focused on tenants' issues at Springfield Garden Apartments buildings in recent weeks. Our newsroom has continued to receive complaints both from new tenants and ones we've already spoken with who are still looking for answers.
Problem with the with electrical sockets being open and not covered up. The heaters were pouring out water. They weren't secure enough. The sinks weren't the sink piping, they weren't strong enough, so it would be leaking.
We took their concerns to city officials, asking why it's taking so long. Springfield Code Enforcement Commissioner Steve Jesselitz tells us these things take time.
We have to give a certain amount of time to the landlord to fix these things. Unless it's an emergency, then we move them to court. So that process can take a long time.
The Springfield Building Commissioner says code enforcement is currently inspecting every single unit owned by Springfield Gardens.
They own 70 properties in the city that we know of, and so we're currently auditing through all their properties on an agreement with the new management staff that they have.
He says there are 9 cases currently open in Springfield Housing Court involving Springfield Gardens. Mayor Sarno tells us enough is enough, and he's encouraging the courts to take action.
If Springfield Gardens continues not to follow through, then I'm looking for housing court or court officials to come across with a strong message to them that they have to be able to invest in these properties.
State Representative Carlos Gonzalez says he does have a meeting scheduled with management this week. Reporting in Springfield, Paris Dunford for Western Mass News.
The Attorney General's office tells us they've received 17 complaints about Springfield Gardens since last year. They say about half of those have been filed in the last 2 months. Western Mass News reached out to the attorney representing Springfield Gardens for a response today, but we have not heard back.